Okay students, in this video I'm going to show you how to use MySQL database server 5.6 and Workbench Client 6.2 in order to create our database and create some new tables in our database. If you remember, in the last class I had covered uh, rather, I talked about relational model, and we discussed how to create a database schema and how to model entity sets and relationship sets as database tables. And couple of exercises which we conducted in the class was to create database, create tables, alter table, and drop table. So in this video, we are going to be working on the same exercise, and I'll guide you to use MySQL Server 2.5 and Workbench Client 6.2, which is already pre-installed. So if you're not installed these softwares, you can view my other video available on the course blog, which may guide you for installing both the softwares. Okay, so I'm assuming here that you already have the MySQL Server installed and Workbench Client 6.2 installed on your laptop or on your computer. So thereafter you can do this exercise. So I have started my MySQL Workbench, and this is my home page. I have a local instance of MySQL already running. I'm going to click upon it to open my workbench. Okay, you can see here that the workbench may have three different views. If you in the top right corner here, you can see that we can close all the tabs from the home page. So we can select the first view because we'll need the navigator panel here, and also we require this SQL query tab. So let's do one thing. This SQL query tab. So we'll require the navigator panel and the SQL query tab. So by selecting this first view on the top right corner, we can have both the navigator panel and the query tab open. Once the navigator panel is open, let's get a clear understanding about this workbench client. You are mostly going to type all your DML statements, your DDL statements, your data definition language statements, your data manipulation language statements, and rather your structured query language statements in the query tab, right? But in order to do this, the first thing first, we need to create the database. So you can see here in the navigator panel, you have schemas. So we are going to create our database schema and add our database schema in the list here, right? So as per the assignment, before we create the database schema, we have to check the server status. In the menu, select server status. Okay, our server is running, but let's assume that I want to stop the server. So again, from the menu, select server, and we are going to shut down the server. Select shutdown option from the menu, and it will open the it will show you the option to stop the server. Just select stop server, and it will pop up this dialog box. Select yes, and your server will be stopped, right? So let's assume most of the time when you log in, your server is in this state. Your MySQL server is not started, right? Okay, so let's assume that it's not started. So what we are going to do is, first foremost, we need to start this server. So again, select the server menu, and there are various options here in the list. We are going to select startup. Click upon it, and it will open this particular page. Click the start server button, and it will again confirm whether you want to start the server. Just make a selection yes, and it will take some time to start up the server, but it will ask you for the password. you can enter your own password, whatever you had set it up when you install the software. So don't forget to record your password when you install MySQL Server. It's going to ask you for a new password, and you need to record that password because it would be used every time when you start up the server again and again, right? Or you can save the password once and for all. Once this is done, it's ready. Your server is started. So we can again now add our own database server. So I'm going to close this tab and just keep the query tab open. So let's start creating our first database. As I covered in the class, to create a new database, we are going to use the DDL command, say create database. And as per the assignment, I told you to create the database for your first case study, social network DB underscore your Z number. I'm assuming this Z number, and going to give a semicolon to end the statement. Once I type this statement, we are ready. So this statement creates a new database for you, a new database schema. So I'm repeating the sentence here, the statement here. Create database is the keyword, and social network DB is my new database name, right? Let's execute this statement. In the query tab in the toolbar, this lightning symbol represents executing the selected portion of your script. So I'm going to execute this statement and would like to see the output. If you want to see the output, again, in your toolbar on the right corner, top right corner, you do select the second button. It's going to open the output window for you, right? You can see the result. It said I have created this in the output window. It says database is created. It's a green symbol, means it was a success, and one row is affected, means the database is created. Now, where are we going to find this new database? In the list of schemas, the database schemas. In the navigator panel, you can see there are list of schemas. Still, we don't see our schema here. So go and refresh it, and there you go. Your social networking DB underscore whatever is your Z number, your database schema is ready to be used. And if you expand this, you can see you can add new tables, views, stored procedures, and functions. This is perfect, and this is the first step which you need to do in the lab exercise related to homework 1. Now the next thing which we need to do is, if you can see here, social network DB, the schema name is not bold. Whether the current database which is being used is COMS. We want to use social network DB as the database now. So we want to make this database as the current database, so that whichever SQL statements we execute are applied to the objects in that database. Hence, let's clear our screen here. Sorry, where is the clear? Okay, we can select and press delete. Now I'm going to use this database, right? I'm going to make it the current. The command to do that is use social, use and the database name. My database name is use social network. So use is the command, and then the database name is use social network DB underscore Z number is there we go. So the command is use and the database name, and then we execute the command. Okay, there's something wrong. I think I misspelled it. It's case sensitive, the name. So D was not in caps. So you have to be careful about the case sensitivity, right? So it's social network DB underscore my Z number as for example. And so this is my database name. After typing this command executed, I think there is still something wrong with the name. Yep, again, network N is capital. I need to make it small. Now we are ready. We execute, and yes, you can see social network DB is in bold. It means this is going to be the current database schema. Now, whichever SQL statements I execute are going to be applied to the objects in my current database schema. This is covering the point number 1 of creating a new database and making it as a current database. So this video covers this aspect. Thank you for listening, and in the next video we are going to create a new table. I'm going to show you how to create a new table, how to write the create table DDL statement and execute that statement and create a new table in our database schema. So the next video is covering the DDL statements create table, alter table and drop table. Thank you.